Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Kyle Kitzman. I'm a huge Denver Broncos fan, as you can see by my entire background. And today we got some news that I don't know how you feel about it. We'll get into it. On one hand, we're talking about potentially losing a player that has been with the Denver Broncos for 6 years in Courtland Sutton, somebody that was drafted to replace the Hall of Famer, in my opinion, Demaryius Thomas. And he came in and he did well enough. Similar, I remember the story coming out when they drafted him. They're like, he's got the same arm length, same height, but he's faster. On paper, it was a grand slam. We drafted Courtland Sutton out of SMU, and he came in and he was pretty good, I'll say, right away. Now, people can debate whether he's a wide receiver one or if he just benefits as a very, very high ceiling wide receiver two, but he would need a wide receiver one. Like, I think Courtland Sutton's a wide receiver one. I think that if he was on another team with a better offense, and most of all, he's had 10 quarterbacks since he's been with the Broncos. Like, if he would have been, for instance, with Patrick Mahomes, we'll talk about that in a little bit. If he would have been in a better environment, I think that Courtland Sutton would have been maybe even a top 10 wide receiver in the league. Specifically, he's seen as many starting quarterbacks going on the 10th of his career in 2024. And with just $2 million left in guaranteed money on his current contract, Sutton isn't volunteering for any extra work. He's declining to report for Denver's voluntary workouts as he seeks a new contract. This was reported by Tom Pelissero. I think one thing that I want to give you, the public, just for context right off the bat, is that Courtland Sutton and Russell Wilson had a great relationship. Courtland Sutton's in the Russell Wilson camp. Courtland Sutton saw everybody leave. He even posted a famous GIF from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where he's sitting around, Will Smith sitting in the empty living room looking around at, all the memories that happened, and it's just empty. And then Courtland Sutton, after the season ended, posted what looked like a goodbye to Broncos country and all the fan bases. And some people were like, don't read into it too much. He's just saying, in case this is goodbye. But now I'm thinking maybe we didn't read into this stuff enough. Okay. I think, and we also know that when Sean Payton pulled Russell Wilson aside last season and said, hey, we want you to restructure your contract, the only person that Russell Wilson told in the entire building was Courtland Sutton. So that tells you how tight their relationship is, at least to some degree. All right. So now, of course, Denver is going through an offseason where they are trying to, I guess, get out of the Russell Wilson contract, which requires them to make no splashes for free agency and just kind of make very humble signings, re-signing Justin Chernot. Our biggest move was getting Josh Reynolds from the Lions. Letting go of Courtland Sutton, trading Jerry Jeudy, releasing Justin Simmons, getting rid of Josie Jewell, and trading away Russell Wilson, or just straight up releasing Russell Wilson. Now, if you're not a Broncos fan, then you probably don't know all of the players, but for the last, I'll say 5 years, Denver has believed that they were a quarterback away. They had Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. They used to have KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick, Javonte Williams, Phillip Lindsay, Noah Fant. Defensively, they had Von Miller for up until the last 2 years. Like, this team has always been, quote unquote, good on paper, but a quarterback away. It's worth noting that for the first time, Denver is going to be going into the new year And the question is, who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite player? We got Ginge in the chat. What's up, Ginge? Who's your favorite player? Is your favorite player Jerry Jeudy? Well, he's on the Browns. Is it Justin Simmons? We released him. Is it Jerry Jeudy? He's on the Browns. I just said that. Josie Jewell, he's on the Panthers. Russell Wilson, he's on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you go down the list and you go, holy shit, wait a minute. And who is any Bronco fan? Who's your favorite player on the team? You really quick realize it's Patrick Surtain. And that's it. Like, there's nobody else that. And I was looking at it. Jerry Jeudy we had for 4 years. Justin Simmons we had for 8 years. Josie Jewell we had for 6 years. Russ we had for only 2 years. Courtland Sutton we've had for 6 years. If you add up all the years that these players that Denver released have played for Denver, it's 30 seasons with the Broncos. That's how, like, engraved in Denver in the fan base feels about these players. Like, they become family. If somebody is on your team for 6 years, for 8 years, it really does become the constant. So now we go into this situation. Courtland Sutton decides that he's not going to report for any voluntary working out. He declined to report for the voluntary workouts on Monday as he seeks a new contract. This was reported by Tom Pelissero. And then if you actually look at what Tom Pelissero reported, it clearly looked like it was copy and pasted from Courtland Sutton's agent. It was like basically making him out to be a martyr. Let me pull it up really quick. It was pretty rough. Let's see. Tom Pelissero. Here we go. All right, here it is. Hashtag Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton did not report Monday for voluntary workouts as he seeks a new contract. Sutton is going on his 10th starting quarterback in 7 seasons. He only has $2 million guaranteed left on his deal. He had 10 touchdowns in 2023 while ranking 56th in targets. All right, clearly copy and pasted from Courtland Sutton's agent himself. We got Bill in the chat. What's up, Bill? Ginger said that's her tan jersey moved with me. Shout out. What's up, Bill? Shout out for sending it. Should I wipe my cheeks with the Rush jersey? No. Well, when the time's right, we'll know what to do with it. So, yeah, Tom Pelissero posts this, and like this might not seem like much, but the bottom line is Courtland Sutton is the last piece of what was the Denver Broncos. So there's part of, I guess, Bronco fans that are like, no, you have to keep him. He makes amazing plays. He's been the constant on the offense throughout all these years. And then you have people that are like, you're so close from a full-on teardown. Just tear the whole fucking thing down. Like, who cares? Courtland Sutton, yes, we love him, but nostalgia is how you get in, 10-year spans of being bad. And I say sometimes nostalgia is what keeps you good on the flip. But Courtland Sutton is actually a good player. So I could see why this is a hot debate right now within Denver's community. Now, I put out a poll today, and I said, where is he going to go? Because I don't think he's going to get a contract with the Broncos. I think the most logical thing, and like I said, when Sean Payton pulled Courtland Sutton aside and said, hey, man, I need you to restructure your contract, Russell Wilson didn't tell anybody in the building about that except for Courtland Sutton. So we know that they're bros. We also know that the Steelers had to trade away one of their receivers that was a distraction to the Panthers. So we also know Denver doesn't have a second-round pick. So this is what I think. I think Courtland Sutton on draft day is going to be traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a second-round pick. Or, and this is my nightmare, with everything going on with Rashee Rice, we're 100% sure that the Chiefs are going to probably use their first round draft pick 32 on a wide receiver. But by that point, it's really a second round pick. They have the last pick in the first round. So it's really a second round pick, top of the second round. Would the Chiefs give Denver that 32nd overall pick for Courtland Sutton and a third? Right? And is there a player that the Chiefs could draft at 32 that would benefit as much as Courtland Sutton? I'm telling you, Courtland Sutton with Patrick Mahomes, watch out. Now that would be something. So that would be my nightmare. But I could see Denver doing that because then they could try to take their 12th overall and 31 and move up to get a quarterback. I don't know how this is going to go down. And he could end up on another team. He could end up playing with the Broncos. So 2 years are remaining on his contract, only $2 million in guarantees. Now, what's weird about that is that Jerry Jeudy, who has been way less efficient than Courtland Sutton, was just traded to the Browns and received a new contract right away. And the new contract was worth $58 million. So imagine this. Imagine you are a big family. You have 5 siblings, okay? You are the best out of all 5 of those siblings. And all 4 of them get sent off to new families. And then you're the only one left. You're the best one. And now you also are the least paid. I can see from a player standpoint where Courtland Sutton's coming from. I mean, Jerry Jeudy just signed an extension worth $58 million. Of course, it was the Browns that did it, and they're notorious for giving out shitty contracts. But he also has $41 million guaranteed. At the signing, Courtland Sutton has $2 million guaranteed. So his 2024 yearly cash is going to be $13.6 million. He turns 29 this year. Courtland Sutton, I put on Twitter, he posted the last episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Will Smith is standing in the empty living room looking around, and that's how Courtland Sutton feels right now. Where's Justin Simmons? There's no Von Miller. There's no Russell Wilson. I've gone through 10 quarterbacks in 6 years. There's no Jerry Jeudy. Who do I know in this building? And this is exactly what Sean Payton wanted to do. Last year, Sean Payton went into the season with, I believe, only I think it was 3% of the roster was handpicked by Sean Payton. Right now, it's at 58%. It's a total teardown. And it's a 2-year plan. And like I say all the time, plan A, let's see if we can win some games with Russ. But plan B, and what I believe Sean said at the interview was, look, I need you to give me time. I have to tear this whole thing down if it doesn't work out. And they said, okay. So Courtland Sutton was under contract. So this is not something Sean Payton needed to assess. But it turns out with Courtland Sutton deciding to hold out of OTAs, he may have already played his last snap with the Denver Broncos, which would not be shocking to me. Ginger said that's sweet Marlins jersey, an old school teal aqua Miguel Cabrera Marlins jersey would be sweet, or the old school black. They had sweet uniforms. I would gladly give you a 2nd or 5th rounder for Surtain for a starter. Yeah, that's what I think is going to be the move here. Then you have to go and bring up a sexy and sad-ass Will Smither. Yeah, dude. It was super sad. So not sure what's going to happen, but Courtland Sutton, kind of the last domino to fall with the current roster of the Denver Broncos as we know them, looks like it is on its way to falling down and completing the entire set. And I think it might just be time to embrace what we have We're not the Colts. We're not even the Saints. We're in that very, very bottom tier where it's like we don't have much hope besides Sean Payton. And this has been unfamiliar territory because in all of the last seasons, we believed we were a quarterback away. And then we drafted Drew Lock. And then Drew Lock went 4-1 when he took over for Case Keenum. And then we went into that next year going, okay, now we got a whole season with Drew Lock, like every season. And then that didn't work out, but we still had hope that offseason. And then that next offseason, they traded for Russ, and the hope went all the way to the moon. And then that didn't work out. And then we brought in Sean Payton, and it was like, okay, hope again. And now Russ is gone. We don't have a quarterback. And I don't know. It just kind of feels unfamiliar. As a Broncos fan, there's normally been something to be excited about. But a rebuild is very boring. It is not exciting. No splash players. No big signings. Re-signing Justin Chernod is not going to make anybody, book their season opener ticket. But they also signed Sam Mustipher, a center, from the Chicago Bears. Like I said, Josh Reynolds, to me, was the biggest signing that happened from the Lions. Lil Jordan Humphrey, Brandon Jones, Malcolm Branch, like just a lot of guys. I mean, like we're shopping at the thrift store. We're getting guys that are undrafted that have played 5 years and 82 starts, and you've never heard of them. And Bill says, hope is a dangerous thing. And I got to say, I guess that's why it feels good to finally not have it. Jen just said, I forgot to put it on all messages over this channel, so I'm just now seeing messages, Bill. All right. Well, Courtland Sutton, if this really is the end, I just wanted to say I appreciate everything that you've done. And whichever team you go to, I will send these cards to that fan. And until we get that fan, you are unfortunately getting real close to joining Drew Lock and Jerry Jeudy. And Bill, I got to send you this. You're going to have to give me your address so I can send you your new QB1. Courtland Sutton, the end of an era, getting ready to join Drew Lock and Jerry Jeudy. I have this one too. I can send you. Oh, man. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. All right, so there was other NFL news that happened today, and I was pretty stoked about it. One of those things was a quarterback that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of, Patrick Mahomes. And I was like, man, I got to be honest. Patrick Mahomes is a very likable guy, and I want to not like him. So I was a little bit upset when I saw this story today because I like him for what he said. But this is what Mahomes said. I had one of the top 3 starts to a career, but I'm not yet in the GOAT debate. Just when you want to hate the guy, he comes out and just eats some humble pie in front of the nation. Patrick Mahomes continued his incredible career in 2023 by winning his 2nd consecutive Super Bowl. At this point in his career, Mahomes can only be compared to the all-time greatest quarterbacks ever to play the game. However, in a recent interview with Time Magazine, Mahomes said he's nowhere near the GOAT status right now. This is what he said. you have to build a consistency of a career. You see that in any sport. I've had a great run. I think I've done a great job so far, but it's hard to take away from what Tom did for so long, what Peyton Manning did, or Aaron Rodgers. There are so many guys. They were at such a high level for such a long time. In order to be in that conversation, you have to do that on a year-to-year basis. You can't take it for granted that you did it the year before. And it feels like he has been around forever, but Mahomes has only spent 6 seasons as a starter in the NFL and will turn just 29 years old during the season. The Chiefs have done a good job of keeping the roster together, and the quarterback will look to capture a Super Bowl title number 4 to build on what has been already one of the greatest NFL dynasties. Mahomes would also join Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw, and Joe Montana as the only quarterbacks to win 4 rings. And what this article doesn't say, and more importantly, Mahomes would also become the first quarterback ever to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. So Mahomes saying that he doesn't match up to Manning and Brady and Aaron Rodgers yet. A lot of respect for that comment, because anybody could do the math and go, wait a minute, Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning combined have as many Super Bowl rings as Patrick Mahomes does right now. But for Mahomes, I think he understands it's not just about winning rings. It is for the fans, but I think as a quarterback, you understand that you can play at a very high level and still not win a ring, especially when you look at Josh Allen, right? And just other quarterbacks like Drew Brees and Peyton Manning and Dan Marino. And, you know, sometimes people just fit into a system. The coach is working, the quarterback's working, and take nothing away from Mahomes. Like, I think he's the greatest quarterback of all time. I felt that way pretty early, but there's a lot of respect in that that little article by Patrick Mahomes. And Bill said, nice, I got to send you the package I got for you. I'm excited. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited. Tyler has a bet going for Denver to win it next year. So he's getting in game shape to pad up and sling the pigskin for them this year. Ultra motivated. Betting Tyler's undefeated. That's hilarious. He put the name in as Mike Roach when he made the bed, so Goodell wouldn't know when he's strutting around with his shirt off and 7 beers in his hands at the parade with a fake mustache and glasses. I'm so lost right here. Is Goodell Roger Goodell? I can't. Help me out, Jinja. I'm slow sometimes. It sounds like a funny story. Somebody walking around at the parade with a fake mustache. Was it Mahomes? Who was walking around with a fake mustache? And while I wait for Ginger to explain the joke to me, because I'm slow, I'll keep going through the list, okay? Stephen Jones, the Cowboys EVP, says that we're looking towards signing our own guys. Now, we know that CeeDee Lamb has had some contract disputes with the Dallas Cowboys, and then they asked CeeDee Lamb if there is any way that he wasn't going to be a Cowboy, and he was like, no, I'm going to be a Cowboy. Okay. Excuse me. He said he's going to be a Cowboy. There's no doubt about it. And this is what he said. This is the Cowboys vice president. He said, we spend max money year in and year out. All 32 can only spend the same amount of money over a 5-year stretch. Cowboys executive vice president Stephen Jones told 105.3 The Fan. When we're all said and done, we max out our salary cap every year. We have done that, and what comes with having a good roster, which we do, we also are looking towards signing our own guys. It doesn't mean it happens overnight. But when you're wanting to sign players like Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, then certainly you have to hold money back if you want a realistic chance of signing those guys. Jen just said, yeah, that is Roger Goodell. Tyler's the one walking around with the fake mustache on because he just won the Super Bowl for Denver and also had a huge Had a huge that dude. So he had the fake stash on. Okay. Is this a video or something that I'm? Let's see. I'm gonna type Tyler fake mustache Super Bowl Denver. Or are you talking about Tyler, my brother? Okay, well, because he just won the Super Bowl winner and had a huge bet too. Okay, he had a huge bet too. So he had the fake stash on. Okay. I think I got it. Okay, so Mike Roch. Who's Mike Roch? That's probably where I'm confused. Mike Roch. Ah, Mike Roch. Oh, he's a Simpson. Oh, Mike Crotch. It sounds like Mike Crotch. Oh, I didn't grow up watching The Simpsons. That's where I was off. Essentially, then Jones explained the Cowboys' quiet march simply. They're going to spend big money to keep the players on the roster, and they're going to plan accordingly. Oh, no, I'm stoned and made the scenario in my head as to how Denver can win this year. It's a betting motivated Tyler. Andy pads up and wins it for you guys. There you go. That might be actually the most realistic plan I've seen up until this point. Not kidding. I think what's more likely, that or frickin' our quarterback that I can't remember his name, Jared Stidham. Jared Stidham's going to win it all for us. No, can't buy into that. Good news if you're a Colts fan. All right, good news if you're a Colts fan. Shane Steichen says that quarterback Anthony Richardson is in really a good spot months after his shoulder surgery. He said he's in a really good spot. He's had really good discussions that obviously I'll keep private, but he's in a really good spot. His shoulder's feeling good. He should be good to go for all practices, all of them. So, I mean, he'll be out there throwing, but we'll limit it. We'll obviously monitor it. We'll make sure we're smart with that, but he's in a really good place. So, if you're a Colts fan and you had any concerns about whether Anthony Richardson would be good to go, it already looks like there's literally nothing to worry about. So this is the outcome the Colts had in mind when they made that difficult decision to shut down Richardson a month after remarkably promising him to be the starting quarterback. And then he had to undergo that shoulder surgery. The eye was on next season all along. And after grinding out the last 6.5 months, Richardson, as Steichen said, is in a great place. Great for April, that is. If the Colts had to play a game today, well, it wouldn't be that great. But Steichen, when asked if he'd have to hold Richardson back from exerting himself too much in workouts, he said, he's a competitor. I think most guys that are competitors that want to be great are going to want to push themselves. But again, we're going to have to monitor it and go from there. It's still great to have Richardson available to participate with his teammates, especially after going through that surgery that relegated him to the background where he was forced to watch them battle for a playoff spot in the final week of the season. Plus, while the Colts go through the basics, including, as Steichen said Tuesday, assembling a huddle, Richardson is able to get into the rhythm of the mental preparation a month before he first got his feet wet with the Indianapolis Colts last year. Of course, the draft doesn't happen until the end of April. So he said it's big. It's not new for him, right? This is Steichen. He heard the terminology going through those meetings right now, just going through it and quizzing. He's all over it. He's got a good foundation into this offseason. He's going into the season, so it's good. All right. Time for my bold prediction. Anthony Richardson's going to be the comeback player of the year next year. I'm willing to say it right now. And Bill said, damn it, my favorite pizza place is closed for the night. Had to order from someplace new. Damn it. Here's to hold on. Here's to hoping that you find your second favorite pizza place, if not your new favorite pizza place. Jin just said, I really wish he wouldn't have ran that much last year and just learned and felt out the game. I'm not doubting him. He comes from the gutter and he's a grinder. He'll be fine health-wise, I believe. And Bill cheers me right back. All right. I think he's going to be good. I think this is great news. Once again, bold prediction here on NFL with Kyle, which is what this show is officially called now. Bold prediction. Anthony Richardson wins Comeback Player of the Year. And the Colts are a playoff team. That's my bold prediction. All right, so we talked about the Cowboys vice president explaining the quiet offseason, basically just saying, look, we can't afford to make all these moves. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, we got to pay those guys. Makes sense. Shane Steichen lets everyone know Anthony Richardson's good to go. Courtland Sutton skipping the Broncos voluntary workouts, seeking a new contract. And the Dolphins, we haven't gone over this one. The Dolphins plan to pick up fifth-year options on Jalen Waddle and Jaleel Phillips. The Dolphins don't need to wait until the deadline to know whether they're going to exercise their fifth options on Jalen Waddle and Jaleel Phillips. The general manager, Chris Greer, told reporters on Tuesday that the club does plan to pick up the options on both former first-round picks before the May 2nd deadline. We're getting to that point, but I would say we'll end up picking it up on them. I'm comfortable saying that. There's no reason to lie to you guys and hide it, but yes, both are a no-brainer decision by the club. Waddle, the number 6 pick in the 2021 draft, is a key playmaker in Mike McDaniel's offense. The former Alabama product has exceeded the 1,000-yard mark in each of his 3 seasons in South Beach. They don't even play in Miami. They play in Aventura. They play in Coral Gables. All right. Let me just do this really quick. I don't know why authors like to say a player is in South Beach. I don't know if it's because LeBron said he was taking his talents to South Beach, but LeBron didn't do that either. Okay, and LeBron was a little bit closer, but this is way off. All right, so here. Okay, we'll just do this. Okay. All right, this is Florida. All right, this is an awful Florida. I'm a terrible drawer. All right, let's just say these are the Keys down here. Okay, here's Miami. Okay, then you got to cross this big-ass bridge, and then here's South Beach. Okay, Miami is not South Beach. They're not even in the same jurisdiction. Jurisdiction. Thank you. They are different zip codes. They're different police officers. They're different schools. They're totally different. Now, at least for the Heat, they play in downtown Miami at what was the American Airlines Arena. But downtown Miami, I used to live exactly across the street from the arena. You have to drive 40 minutes north to get to the Dolphins Stadium in Coral Gables. The Dallas Cowboys are in Arlington. The Miami Dolphins are not in Miami. The Denver Broncos are in Denver. The Chicago Bears are in Arlington as well, right? No, they just bought Arlington. The New York Giants are in Rutherford. I just don't understand why, like, the New England Patriots are in not New England. San Francisco 49ers are in San Francisco. Seattle Seahawks are in Seattle. Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona Cardinals. That's the easy way to do it. Just call it the state, right? We're the Florida Dolphins. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in Jacksonville. Tampa Bay is in Tampa Bay. But there's just a couple teams that it's like you're not even where you say you're from. It's so annoying. The Green Bay Packers are in Green Bay. If you've never been to Green Bay Stadium, I wanted to give you guys a big announcement today. So here's what it is, okay? I know that some of you aren't going to be able to do this, but and I'm going to make a bigger announcement on the Only Football podcast, but I wanted to do like a fan, but like Only Football podcast meet and greet. And I was thinking it would be cool to give you guys ample time to prepare in case maybe you guys could do it. Maybe you can't. That's okay too. But the NFL draft in 2025 is going to be in Lambeau Field or in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I was going to let everyone know, like, I'm going to go there. And I think it'd be cool if any of you guys can go, to meet everybody in real life and stuff like that. So there's going to be definitely more on that. Of course, this is over a year away, but I'm really excited for the 2025 draft, and hopefully meeting some of you guys would be an honor. So Waddle's fifth-year option is projected to be worth $15.591 million. And then Bill said San Fran is not from San Fran. They're from Santa Clara. That's right. They are from Santa Clara. I totally forgot that because I was watching somebody. I haven't been to Candlestick, but somebody posted a video that lived in San Francisco on how cheap or how expensive it is to go to a game. And I remember I think they Ubered or took the train, but I remember it's in Santa Clara. Man, there's quite a few of those, right? Minnesota's in Minnesota. Indianapolis was definitely in Indianapolis. I think we got them all. Tom is going to be at that draft trying to get on stage to announce a pick. That's awesome. And Ginger said, hell yeah, that sounds cool. Are you going to try to do the stadium hopping thing again? Maybe this is mostly just for the NFL draft, but I'm going to be going to some games this year. I don't want to spoil anything right now, but definitely, how can I say it? I'm thinking about going to the Superdome, and I'm looking at the Ravens, and I'll just leave it at that for right now. But yeah, there's definitely some announcements to come. So Phillips was the number 18 pick in 2021. And you're like, well, why did they have 2 first-round picks in 2021? I don't know. The 49ers wanted to get Trey Lance, remember? Old Tom, Diana, Thursday, Grassi. I figured Tom Grassi was going to be announcing a draft pick at that draft. I think the more he keeps integrating with the NFL, it's going to be a sure thing. Okay, so Waddle and Phillips won't be going anywhere for the next 2 years, giving the team time to work out their extensions with one or both of them. Remember, they also have Bradley Chubb there. I feel like if the Dolphins don't win, or like at least win a couple playoff games this year, it's like, okay, what do we have to do to get to the next level? And people are going to be out for Tua, because it's all cool to have awesome stats, but it's not cool to not be able to win a playoff game. Broncos play the Chargers out here at SoFi. Ooh, I might do it. Bill. I might do it. We'll see when that schedule gets released in a month. That sounds like a plan. That's definitely a stadium I want to go to. Man. All right. We'll see. I have a good feeling about that. Puka Nacua is still trying to reach Cooper Kupp's expectations, saying that he set the standard for us. I feel like I'm trying to reach Coop's expectations, Puka Nacua said on the team's official website. because he set the standard for us in a wide receiver room. And for a lot of wide receivers in the NFL, I mean, to be a Triple Crown winner, I just mentioned it to him not too long ago. And I don't know, wide receivers have won a Super Bowl MVP. The standard is set very high, and I don't think I'm close to reaching it. A fifth-round pick, Puka Nacua blasted onto the NFL scene, earning 100-plus yards in 3 of his first 4 games as a rookie. In all, he had 7 tilts of 100-plus yards, including 3 over the 150-yard mark. The wideout earned 105 total catches, 1,486 yards with 6 touchdowns on his way to a Pro Bowl. In addition to his regular season records, Nacua set a new single-game postseason rookie record when he went for 181 yards on 9 catches in a playoff loss to Detroit. Never one to rest on, Nacua spent the offseason training with Cup, learning how professionals attack the offseason. Nacua said the veteran wideout has taught him a lot about nutrition, the importance of rest, and, of course, how to condition like a pro. His conditioning days were some of the tougher ones, Nacua said. I remember the first day I came back, I think I threw up every day of the week. He wasn't a fan of that because it was on his lawn and stuff. He was like, "You're throwing up in my bushes, Puka. Thanks." But it was super fun. And then to come back in today, I felt like I didn't miss a beat. There was kind of an idea of, I don't know what I'm going to do for the offseason, but following Coop's plan made it super easy and centered me in the right way. I love Puka Nacua. I love him. 5th-round draft pick, a total steal. Clearly has a bright future in the NFL, and I think Puka Nacua could be the next great receiver in our league, maybe even a top 5 receiver. Maybe even a top 5 receiver. Bill said I'd definitely go with you. All right. Done deal. I was hoping I was going to ask. I'd be like, would Bill go if I went? Then I'll definitely make that game. Normally it's like week 17, week 18. I don't know why. Maybe this year it could be week 18 in Denver and maybe a little bit earlier. I mean, it's LA. The weather's going to be nice anyway, but and then the last thing I wanted to cover. Buccaneers running back Rachaad White wants to make people fear me, people to respect me in 2024. Bill hasn't been to a game since 1990. Dude, that would be awesome. That would be such an honor. Man, that would be so cool, man. And I heard that stadium is insane. Like, the people that have been to it say it's like wearing VR glasses. Like, everything's so futuristic, and that would just be a total awesome thing to be able to share. Because, of course, I'd be going alone, so it'd be nice to share that with somebody. Rachaad White says, if you're a guy in this league who wants to be a guy that is scouted for and respected, he said this on the team's official website, I've seen that, and people are just leaving me out. I saw that and wanted to make the most of it and make people fear me, make people respect me, to say when I come in the game, it's not just Mike Evans and Chris Godwin you have to worry about, it's me as well. And the Tampa Bay running game got off to a slow start in the season, and actually Tampa Bay ended up finishing 32nd in rushing yards per game. It doesn't say that in the article. It's just something I know for some reason. In the latter half of the season, White got things on track. In the Bucs' final 7 games, he averaged 4.5 yards a carry, 4.05 yards a carry, going for 531 yards, 2 touchdowns on 131 carries. White admitted Monday that he needs to be more efficient in order to make a leap in 2024. Right now, I'm not where I want to be in my career, yards per carry wise and things like that. Just being an efficient running back, I think for me, that's what the biggest next step is. Okay, he's efficient, he said. The efficient running backs over the course of time, like I said, I study the game a lot. They average at least 4 to 4.1 yards a carry and above. Guys like Walter Payton, it's tough. It's hard. Everybody had seasons where they averaged 3.0 something yards per carry due to whatever circumstances. The biggest thing for me is just trying to study the game, just understanding it and being efficient this year. And don't sleep on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right. You got Baker Mayfield going into his second season with the Bucs. You got a team that believes they really had a chance against Detroit in that playoff game. You got a running back that wants to take it to the next level. You got Mike Evans. Like the Tampa Bay Bucs could end up being the team to beat in the NFC South. And the real question is like the corner that they turned at the end of that season, are they going to come into this next season with that same momentum, or was that a fluke? And I feel like the mindset is everything. And I think Tampa Bay's in a really good place right now to kind of capitalize on how they ended last season going into next year. I had Taco Tuesday today. Giant burrito. D'Amico Ryans brushing off expectations. We're always hunting. God, I love this guy. The expectations on the outside don't permeate inside our building, he said. For us, when everyone is really striving and putting the work in to be better, and that's what it's all about, we don't care about expectations. Talk doesn't win games. We have to go out there and play good when it comes time for that. The recent trade for Stephon Diggs vaulted the Texans' title odds, making, ooh, that's awesome. Hold on, I got to open my FanDuel account. Because guess what? Before the season ended last year, I took the Texans. I put like $20 on the Texans to win the Super Bowl. And that was before those odds. It's the Detroit Lions I bet it on. It was the Detroit freaking Lions. By the way, I also have $20 on Steph Curry and De'Aaron Fox to each score 25 points tonight in their basketball game. And I think the Lakers were in the play-in tournament earlier today. And let's see. They did end up winning the game against the Pelicans. And then right now the Warriors are playing the Kings. And it's the second quarter with 5 minutes left in it. Let's see. Steph Curry's got 11 minutes and 5 points only. Let's see. De'Aaron Fox has 8 points. 8 points, 5 points. Second quarter, not too great. Not a ton of offense. 33 to 46 with 5 minutes in the second. I don't know what's going on. Curry must be missing some threes. All right, so in the recent trade for Diggs, it boosted the Texans' odds to win the Super Bowl. And the C.J. Stroud-led group, one of the top 5 teams expected to compete for the conference title. The Diggs addition provides pedigree to the offense, and even if he's fallen off a little bit, he's a proven playmaker who should be a dangerous weapon in the Bobby Slowick operation. We look at the guy's entire career, what he's done, how he's been productive. Ryan said when asked about Diggs' production, wanting late last season. The guy has been an all-pro player. He's been an all-pro player over 1,000 yards for multiple seasons, so we're excited about adding Diggs to our team. It wasn't just the Diggs trade that created headlines in Houston. They also inked Daniel Hunter to a big money deal. They signed Azeez Al-Shaair. They re-signed tight end Dalton Schultz, and they traded for Joe Mixon. The moves in totality bring star power to Houston's club that found a star at quarterback and a promising edge rusher in Will Anderson Jr. in last season's draft. On paper, the Texans should be a dangerous and entertaining team in 2024. Not that any of those words matter to Ryans. We're always hunting, he said. That doesn't change for us. We're always hunting. Expectations on the outside, whatever they may be, it really doesn't change who we are. I would give my extra testicle to be able to make the Texans everything, the Broncos. Literally, I would give my third nut. I am just so happy for the Texans and their fan base. I think there's a great chance that the Texans are gonna win it all this year. And Bill said my webcam came in. It seems to work okay. I just got to clean up the mess. That is my office. It looks like a disaster on camera. No, that's awesome. I'm glad the camera worked out, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to do some interview and just talk to an actual fan. Nobody knows your team like you. Nobody, and it's an honor. So thanks for getting that and being down for the interview and all of that. And I'll be here whenever you're ready. Let's see. Courtland Sutton, 5th-year options picked up on Jalen Waddle and Phillips. Shane Steichen says that Richardson will be ready to start the season. Cowboys say that they're having a quiet offseason because they got to pay their own superstars. And last but not least, and I was excited to talk about this one because we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, had contract talks, but not really my focus. My job isn't going to change whether I get extended or not. Trevor Lawrence is thrilled that the Jaguars outside linebacker Josh Allen was able to lock up a long-term contract. As for the Jags quarterback, he's not worried about getting his, but more so getting his job done as the franchise looks to rebound from a disappointing 2023 campaign. This is Trevor Lawrence speaking. There's definitely been some conversations as far as where that's at now. Lawrence told reporters Tuesday at the onset of voluntary offseason practices. It's not really my focus. I'd love to obviously be a Jag for as long as possible. We love it here, and I love where we're headed as an organization, and I feel like I'm just getting better. My best ball is definitely ahead of me. From that standpoint, obviously, yeah, that would be great. But like I said, going into my 4th year, it's not like this is necessarily going to be my last season. The next door is guaranteed that the Jags will pick up Lawrence's 5th-year option as the 2021's number 1 overall pick enters his 4th season. So he's right in that regard, and in the mind of one-time Pro Bowler in the face of the Jaguars franchise. Look, it's funny because if the Jags don't make the playoffs, would they move on from Trevor Lawrence? And I think the answer is no. I think Trevor Lawrence has just shown too much at this point for the Jags to get rid of him. But would that be a dream come true? I wish the Jags would be that done. Let the Broncos take Trevor Lawrence. Let something like that happen. But it won't. The Jags are going to lock him up, and he's going to be a Jaguar for the future. They drafted a franchise quarterback, and that's what they got. Things haven't really fallen their way, but anybody that turns the tape on can obviously see that there's nobody you're going to replace Trevor Lawrence with that's going to improve your team. Nobody that's available right now, not even Caleb Williams, even if it was an option. He said, it's not my focus right now. At the end of the day, my job isn't going to change whether I get extended or not. My job is to win games and to be the best I can for this team so we have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Even if I get a contract extension, that's still my job, even more so. So there's even more expectations and pressure on that. For me, I have the same focus and the same mindset. Through 3 seasons, Lawrence has missed just one of the potential 51 starts. His lone missed game came last year when he dealt with a clavicle of alignments through a trying 9-8 season, which the Jags failed to defend their AFC South crown, fell short of the playoffs, and collapsed to the tune of losing 5 of their last 6 games. You just have to use it. So that's what I plan to do from last season. Lawrence, who threw for 4,016 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 picks. I think our approach as a team, too, it's a waste if you don't use it. You went through that experience and then you don't use it. It's double bad because it's not going through it and you didn't get better from it. I think that's our mindset. That's my mindset moving forward, and so many things to learn from. One massive bright spot from last season for the Jags was the play of Allen, who set a new team record with 17.5 sacks to go along with 66 tackles, 17 tackles for a loss, 33 QB hits, and it added up to a lucrative 5-year, $150 million contract. Though unfocused on his impending payday, Lawrence was plentifully pleased his teammate got his. Super excited, obviously, the season he had, but just the guy that he's been, Lawrence said of Allen. He was here 2 years before I got here, and in the 3 years since I've been here, he's just consistent. One of the hardest workers on the team, dependable. As a person in the locker room, he's the right kind of guy you want. He checks all the boxes that you want as a leader on your team, and obviously a great player too. I was excited to get him back because there's a lot of teams that would have loved to have Josh Allen on their team. I'm excited we got that done. He's going to be a Jag for a long time. I think that was a big box check for us, and I'm excited that he's here. Lawrence plans to be there in Duval for the long haul. Duval! I can't lie. Obviously, it was nice to have that done, and it feels good. But no, it's not really my focus right now. So at the end of the day, Trevor Lawrence knows that paycheck is coming. This sounds very similar to the Joe Burrow comments that he made before he got his big extension. And I think the Jags know as well, as long as they wait, that price tag is only going to go up. And I think Trevor Lawrence is aware of that as well. Hey, let them wait. You're going to receive a max contract when it's time to get paid. And the longer they wait, the more money that is. So I think everything about that just shows that Trevor Lawrence, he's smart, he's aware, but he's also saying and doing all the right things. He's proving that he is a really solid teammate. And Bill said I had enough Amazon rewards money to pay for it. Basically free. Basically. That's awesome. I got my Zyn rewards. These Zyns, they have a little QR code on the back of them, and they just randomly sent me a bottle opener, a New Way Forward, made in the USA. So I love that kind of stuff. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this hour of news just flying at you. Courtland Sutton might be on his way out the door. The Cowboys paying their superstars. Trevor Lawrence knows a big payday's coming. Happy that his teammate Josh Allen got paid. Stephon Diggs joining the Texans. D'Amico Ryan says we're always hunting, and they're keeping that mindset super focused. And now that OTAs are officially going on, the news is going to start ramping up again. Of course, we have the draft a little over 1 week away. As I said, that's going to be an incredible content coming your way for that draft, along with some interviews coming up. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you are a Broncos fan, please subscribe to this channel so we can load this up with Bronco fans. And Bill and Jinja, who are in here today, thank you guys, of course, as always, for being in here. We do have our episode with me and Rick coming up on Thursday on the Only Football Podcast. In the meantime, you can follow me at NFL with Kyle. Bill said I got a 50 BMG bullet bottle opener. That's awesome. I got a bullet flashlight and and I got real bullets too. Of course, Bill, of course. And follow me at NFL with Kyle, and I will be. And by the way, if you see any of those people saving the monkey from the barbed wire, like the tangled monkey, please understand that there's a guy out there that owns a monkey, and he keeps tangling these monkeys up on purpose just to record himself freeing them for likes. Yeah, they really have to stop allowing that kind of stuff to be monetized. But just wanted to drop that little nugget. Those people are the absolute worst. So let them know if you come across them. Thank you guys, as always, and I will see you on the next episode of Only Football.